Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie. It is the encouraging word for today. Once a man called me, and he was very upset at his girlfriend who he was dating. He had just started dating her. And he said, "I can't believe what happened. I can't believe what she did." And I said, "What did she do?" He said, "She got pregnant. I can't believe it." And at first I thought, "You mean she got pregnant with somebody else while you were dating?" He said, "No, no, no. She got pregnant from me." And I didn't say it, but I was like, well, if you were intimate with her, that's the consequence of what happens. The person gets pregnant. You should have thought of that ahead of time. And he kept ranting and raving. He was really, really upset. The consequence of having intimacy in a relationship is pregnancy. Listen to what happened to David in 2 Samuel chapter 11, verse 5, after he had had sexual intimacy with Bathsheba. He sent her home. 2 Samuel 11:5. The woman conceived and sent word to David saying, "I am pregnant." I imagine that Bathsheba probably about 3 months later or so, Bathsheba sent a little note on pink paper, maybe scented with some perfume in a nice pink envelope. And David opened it and it said, "I am pregnant." And he got super mad and upset, probably ripped it up, and he got very angry at what happened. Since David's time, man has invented abortion. Imagine how evil abortion is. A human life is conceived, is given by God, a human being, a baby in the womb, no matter what the circumstances. God loves that child. God has a purpose for that child. And yet, the parents or the father or the mother kills that precious child in the womb because they don't like the consequences of what they decided to do in becoming intimate. Or now we have contraceptives to try to avoid the consequences of having sex. But no form of birth control, like my friend found out, no form of birth control is 100% preventive. And it also separates the act of sex from the possibility of reproduction and leads to other more damaging emotional problems. All that is done to try to avoid the law of consequences. Actions have consequences. The Bible calls that reaping and sowing. You reap what you sow. It's one of the most basic spiritual principles woven into the DNA of our world. I love how Galatians chapter 6 verse 7 puts it. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man or a person reaps what he sows. Don't be deceived. You can't eliminate the law of consequences. God can't be mocked. He put that principle into our world. We reap what we sow. David, you are reaping what you sowed. My friend, you're reaping what you sowed. The law of consequences cannot be eliminated no matter how much you try. So remember that before you take an action, stop, put a stop and say, what are the consequences of this going to be? And I'm not talking just about a pregnancy. What about damage to other people? What about breakup of families? What about all kinds of consequences? Think of the consequences, because, my friend, you will find out, just like David did, that actions always have consequences. So today, read over Galatians 6, chapter 6, verse 7. Spend a few minutes thinking how consequences have impacted your life. And I'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday. I'll be on Facebook Live as we continue the Chronicles of David and Bathsheba. See you then.